Josh Barnett, who won the first time he entered the octagon. He is set for a heavyweight matchup against Pedro "The Rock" Rizzo. And we know one thing about Pedro Rizzo. He can hit, and he can hit hard. Tail of the tape, Pancration against Marco Ruas, Vale Tudo. Rizzo's 3 years older than Josh Barnett, 2 inches shorter, and gives away 22 pounds. For Rizzo, he hopes that will not matter. Our referee for bout number 3 tonight, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu himself, Mario Yamasaki.
Go back to your corner. Look at me here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
All right, let's see what Pedro Rizzo shows up tonight, and that is the big question.
I'm also interested. Josh Barnett considers himself the Rodney Dangerfield of the mixed martial arts world. Nobody gives him respect, but the one thing about Josh, he always seems to win.
He always finds a way to win.
24-0, a mixed martial arts record for Josh Barnett. Victories over UFC veterans Bob Gilstrap, Bobby Hoffman, Dan Severn. Super Brawl 13 tournament champion, Barnett.
Nice kick there.
I like Barnett's clinching and then punching off the clinch. And we have seen Rizzo at times, I call it being a little reluctant.
Yeah, passive, reluctant, and I agree 100%. And Marco Ruas really tore into Pedro Rizzo after he was reluctant against Kevin Randleman and in fights prior to that. He said, you have these God-given skills, you have to use them. And you want to talk about hero worship, you're talking Pedro Rizzo's hero worship, Frank of Marco Ruas.
Absolutely. You know, when he's your master and you want to please him more than anything in this world. And Rizzo is a martial artist at heart, and he just wants to go out there and do his best.
I'm noticing something here. It seems as Rizzo's now backing up and Josh is following him, and that may be a setup for Rizzo to unload a bomb as Josh is coming in.
It is, and he landed a nice left hook to the chin right there as Josh was trying to circle out.
Now Josh is calming down on how quickly he pursues Rizzo. I think that's a smart thing to do, make Rizzo come to you a little bit.
Both are using the legs well, aren't they?
Absolutely, and Rizzo threw an interesting open hand strike to set up the leg kick. So real skilled in striking.
Now let's see what knees. Rizzo's got good knees, but he didn't bring him the bear there in the clinch.
This is a good start here to this heavyweight fight. Wow! And Rizzo trying to load up the right. So is Josh Barnett.
Rizzo's got his head. He's got to watch for the knees. There it is.
Especially if he's throwing a hook and you duck the hook, that's when you can bring the knee up.
Well, it's just like in wrestling, Jeff. You can't let him hold your head and control your head.
Lost mouthpiece of Josh Barnett. Mario Yamasaki regathers. They touch, and here we go again. Round 1. A scheduled 3 5-minute rounds if needed. I'm wondering if we're going to need it, though. Barnett not shying away at all, guys. That's a strong kick. That will leave a mark.
Instant bruise on that one. That was nice. Check with the shin.
Wow.
Josh needs to be careful. He seems to bull rush with some of his strikes, and if Rizzo's waiting for him, he can catch him. Oh, right hand by Josh.
And another kick to the same spot. And then the big. See, Josh just hesitated for a second to think about his leg, Frank, and almost didn't prove costly.
He did, and I got to think that Pedro is coming out on top of the strike, and you see him picking apart his timing. He's slowly getting shots in there.
Barnett now, see, now he's aware. Yep.
Pedro kick, I think he broke his toes. He just kicked Josh on the knee. Right on the knee on his toe.
And Barnett tries to fire in.
Oh, and
looking for a knee.
That knee just missed.
Wow. These are 2 game competitors.
I think Josh...
Oh, big left. And Barnett says yes. Good chin for Josh Barnett. Good shot for Pedro Rizzo.
That was one stiff jab.
Wow, do I like the way these guys are going.
I think Josh Barnett is surprising a lot of people trying to go stand-up with Pedro Rizzo, and he's not doing too badly.
Well, he said he was going to. He said no one's ever struck with him. He said no one's ever struck with Pedro.
One minute remains in round number 1. Barnett still looking, but Pedro countering. Pedro has the accuracy to hit that same spot too, doesn't he, guys?
It does, and you saw Barnett drop his hand when he got that kick, And that may be setting up a later high kick when he starts feeling that.
Listen to the crowd react here in Atlantic City. They love the way these competitors are going at it.
Barnett bleeding from the nose. Hizzo, a tiny cut on the bridge of the nose.
Now, if he broke his toes, Frank, he's showing no ill effects. And now the clinch.
Watch for the knees.
The babyface assassin showing some speed. 20 seconds remains in round one.
That was nice how he came over the head to push it outside. He brought that knee up awful high.
Pedro's got him reacting now. You see him reaching down, checking that leg up.
There's one that glances off the earlobe. Rizzo. Oh, I like what we saw through the first 5 minutes. Great respect. This is an example of what this sport is all about. They are on their feet here in Atlantic City.
Let's look at some of the early action here. Rizzo with a nice leg kick. Barnett chasing him and catching a few punches, and there you see Josh Barnett attempting an uppercut. Rizzo counters with a nice kick. And the strength of Rizzo's kicks, Frank.
Absolutely, and he's counter kicking. Every time Josh kicks, he makes sure he counter kicks and gets that spar on the way out. You see Josh try and ham it up there, but he's gonna pay for it right there.
Okay,
how does Barnett counter, and how much does he have to try to protect that left leg now as we get set for round number 2? Let's see if those things develop. A touch and a show of class. And look at the red spot on the left leg of Josh Barnett.
There's a couple of them there, and Rizzo actually has a little bit of a spot below his left eye. They worked on it in the corner. It's not cut, but it seems to have a teeny bit of a mouse there. So you know Barnett has connected as well.
I mean, this is pancration against Ali Tudor, and this has no indication that our fight is going to take it downstairs. These guys are going toe-to-toe.
Rizzo's predictable in terms of backing and circling to his right. Maybe Barnett can use that to his advantage, but Pedro seems to have the speed and quickness. Nice uppercut.
Yeah, it looks like he's got speed and combinations on him. Every time they circle around, oh, nice knee to the thigh. He always seems to get that one extra shot in on the way out. So you hear Matt Hemo raise.
Oh, big right.
That right came straight down the middle and connected.
Oh, and now Barnett says bring it on.
The wrong kind of emotion to have. You want to continue to think. Oh, right hand by Barnett. Now he's in tight. Maybe he can do something with the clinch. Rizzo seems to be very comfortable to stand up with him.
Now, Pedro Rizzo made quick work. The Triple Crown champion, Dan the Beast Severn. He lost to Kevin Randleman by unanimous decision after 5 rounds. That is his only loss in his UFC career. He's knocked out Trey Telligman. He's knocked out Tank Abbott. He'd like to end tonight's fight with a knockout. And impressively, Josh Barnett is 1-0. The last time we saw him was right here in this building back in November.
Oh, right hand.
And a good right hand for Josh Barnett.
Nice kick to follow.
He defeated Gan McGee that night, Jeff and Frank, in very impressive fashion. There's another shot.
Well, McGee controlled that fight earlier. He was bigger than Josh, but Josh was able to turn the tide and eventually come back and beat him.
Caught him there.
Nice combination by Josh Barnett. That's his best of the fight.
And now Pedro Rizzo's thinking. They are going toe-to-toe, right, left, and here we go again.
And again, Pedro took advantage of Josh rushing him with the punch. Oh, we might see.
He's got the leg. Oh, right with the knee and just missed. And now Barnett readjusts his equipment. Is Barnett starting to get gassed?
Well, this has been a torrid pace. Nice left hand now. Seems that Rizzo's punches are starting to find the range.
Rizzo's at 228, Barnett at about 250. Their reported weights prior to the official weigh-in. Marco Huas in the corner of Pedro Rizzo. And Barnett connects. Oh, the uppercut glances the chin of Pedro the Rock Rizzo.
These two are doing a great job of entertaining the crowd. Lots of aggressive action and some good scoring.
Can Barnett keep this pace, Frank?
He's looking a little tight. His mouth's hanging up a little bit. He's bending over a little bit. I'd hate to see him walk into a right hand or something. He's taking a lot of damage on that front leg.
Rizzo looks fresher, doesn't he, Jeff? His combination lands, and they still go.
If he's going to stay in range and chase Rizzo, Rizzo's going to hit him. If he would stand his ground or back up and make Rizzo come to him, that may give him an opportunity. But chasing Rizzo right now doesn't seem to be a good tactic.
The beginning of this fight, these first 2 rounds are exactly the reason why the sport of mixed martial arts is going to be the chosen sport amongst the combat sports in the future.
Well, the creativity and the variety of the way you can attack your opponent really makes MMA such a great sport. You may find a strategy you want to use, but if you find it ineffective early, you've got a variety and have that ability to find a different avenue to go ahead and become effective. And we've seen that with different fighters as they've matured in the octagon.
Josh goes high with a kick.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody go with Rizzo toe-to-toe this long. Oh, a right hand.
It's over. Pedro Rizzo has knocked out Josh Barnett.
Take your time, Josh. Take your time.
Now Barnett chased him just a bit too long, ate a right hand, he was stunned. It looked as though he turned his back, but then he went back to engage and he ate another right hand and it ended the fight. Rizzo again demonstrates his punching prowess.
Wow.
Right up on the temple.
Boom! Oh. And it was over as Pedro "The Rock" Rizzo, the 4-time Brazilian Muay Thai champion, has knocked out Josh Barnett. Watch it in super slow-mo, Jeff.
You saw him, he reached one too far, one too many times. Once that temple shot stoned him, Rizzo turned that corner right on the chin. That put him down. Oh, big right hand.
Now Josh was chasing, there he is. He's chasing, and that led to walking into that right hand. Mario was coming across the referee to try to intervene, but he got that second punch off.
Look at the show of affection right now between Pedro "The Rock" Rizzo and Marco Ruas. A loving hug from his hero to his star pupil. And Josh Barnett is going to be just fine. And I'll tell you what, I already had respect for Josh Barnett before tonight. It just grew immeasurably as we are set to get our official decision from the veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 4 minutes and 21 seconds, we have a winner by knockout for the man from Brazil, Pedro "The